Hey guys, Mithyc here, and we are back with another YouTube video on Mount Blade, because tutorials, broskies. So last episode I showed you guys the pretty much finishing the first quest area, and today we're going to be focusing on party management because I think that's a little more important than getting money. I mean, part of party management is getting food, and of course you need food, and food costs money from the markets, so obviously you're going to have to get some money, but in the basic part of the game you can get some money from fighting these looters, so I wouldn't worry about getting a ton of money until a little ways on in the game, to where you start getting big armies. So right now we're not going to worry about getting a lot of money. You get enough to sustain you early game from just fighting off these looters. Also, I like to set my troops back there so I can scout ahead. Snipe people. Also, when your troops aren't recklessly charging into battle, it kind of keeps them more alive. If you believe that. I don't know why my health is a little damaged. Probably from a fight. Where are they? There they are. I seem to have missed them altogether. See if we can hit one. I don't think so. Not with this bad of an archery skill from such a long range, but our militia are doing their job. Sorry. Hey guys. I think I'm scarce here. Anyway, so we won that battle. It's probably gonna get us 100 dinars or something. Because that's good. There we go. It's upgraded, dude. Oh. We're gonna get a footman. Usually when people play the Swadians, they go for the Swadian mounted knights, which I understand because they're so good, but I think it feels a little cheap to me to just not try to make a classical medieval army. So let's get a few more troops, and yeah, how many people are in this army? 14, and he's running from an army of 12. Be afraid, my dude. Alright, so party management. Now, party management is important because if you don't manage your party right, you're going to lose your troops. So, to do this, I think we need to find another thing, because we need to find a follower. That's an important part of party management as well, because you can get a lot of followers in the game, and you have to manage your followers a little differently than you do other people. And this guy's going to jail, kinda like us. So, tavern. Let's see if we can find someone. Perfect, my favorite, Tyrantus. So he is my favorite companion. He's lost, and why so gloomy? Hear it? Yay. That's not good, dude. Yeah. Now see, here's the thing, is a lot of these followers, like this guy over here, Arteminor, like you have to pay for him. But this guy, Firentis, is awesome because you don't have to pay for him. And these guys are expensive. No one likes expensive people. Alright, so now you have Firentis, and let's move him up a little. Let's see his, let me see, your equipment. Yeah, he only has a sword. So, obviously, we need to check his armor. 14 and 6. That's not good at all. We need to give him good armor. You've got to make sure your followers are well equipped. You don't need them to... Followers can't die, but they can be knocked unconscious, and you don't want that. Alright, let's talk about his skills. The important part about party management is, compared to you, different companions have different skill sets. So if you want one companion to focus on engineering and trainer, or you want another one to be like a muscle man and have a lot of skills and strength, to upgrade these skills and strength attributes. And in other words, you pretty much tailor them to each fit a role, and then eventually you might have enough to where, see, my skills are surgery, spotting, pathfinding, and tracking. His could be iron flesh, engineer, and stuff like that. And so you gotta tailor them. Another part about party management is, like I showed last episode, upgrading them. You can also choose different upgrades, so like you might choose to decide instead of a footman next time to get a skirmisher and get some crossbows and stuff in the mix, which is very good. And now the most important part about party management is morale. In fact, even in my game, I'm running into this issue, and I just found out why. But first, morale. If you don't have enough money to pay your troops, they lose morale. If you don't have enough food, they lose morale. And you can see, if you go into reports, party morale, it shows what's affecting their morale. So, base morale, plus 50. Party size. Because you can get a few troops, I'll show that in a minute. They like food variety, and recent events, aka winning battles. All these affect your thing. And the bigger you are, for me, this is 86. So everything I have here just gets like completely canceled out by it. And it's bad. And the way you can boost your morale is by going into here, go to Marketplace, Goods Merchant. And right now we only have dried meat. And it says plus 5 to party morale. So what you can do is you can get bread. Okay, so like bread. So let's get 2 loaves of bread, cabbage, fruit, and cheese. And that is going to boost the morale, but of course you have to pay money. So what you can do to alleviate some of that cost is to sell some of this equipment that you've been collecting. Don't sell the furs yet. So now you only have to pay 89 dinars, and that's a very reasonable price. So now your party is equipped, and you can see the food in the inventory all down here, and this should last a small party for a while. So you shouldn't have to worry about food for a little while, but always keep an eye on the food. Next part, like I said, money, you got to keep an eye on that, because you make sure that you always have enough to pay your weekly cost. Next part, party size. If you look up here, 13/46, or whatever you have, slash whatever this is. And this is how many people you can have. This is how many you do have. There is a limit on troops. The higher level you get, well, I'll explain this first. When you start, you can usually only have about 30 to 46. because that's what I have, and that's the highest I've ever seen from it. Because what you do is, you see this renown, character renown, the higher your renown is, the more troops you can get. So if this was 100, I might be able to get 70 troops here. And obviously the more troops, the less morale you're going to have because of stupid party size. Well, that's charisma, but stupid party size. I'm pretty mad. In my single player, I just have troops leaving me left and right. It's so annoying because I just want my army to stay together. I give them good food. They're all happy except for the party size. But, so you could have about a maximum of 46. And what I like to do is in this tutorial, the faction you are going to, the entire plan of the game is to create your own kingdom, fight all the other kingdoms. But at the beginning, you want to start by helping a specific kingdom. And in this tutorial, we're going to be helping the Swadians out for a little while. So, I would prefer to get Swadian troops, because the thing is, say if you got Rodok troops and you joined the Swadians, and then you went to war with the Rodoks, the Rodok troops you have are going to become less happy, because they're fighting their kinsmen, or their countrymen, not kinsmen. But, you get what I mean, you know, people don't like to fight their own countrymen. So, yeah, I recommend get troops from the kingdom you're helping, because you're probably not going to war with that kingdom when you're working for it. Makes sense. Anyway, so we're fighting another battle here, mainly because, well, we need money. You know, early game, you get about 100 maybe from a battle like this, which is very good, early game. Obviously, later game, you need heavier money-making methods, so you can buy new armor for yourself and your companions. But you don't need to worry about buying armor for a while either, because another thing in this tutorial I'll show is the place to get the best equipment for free. You see how our body armor is 24? I can get you body armor that gets you 40 protection, which I think the highest you can get is 50 protection. 56 is the armor protection I have in my single player. So yeah, 40 for a mid-game player is really good. Like, it'll last you the majority of the game. But that'll be a tutorial for itself, because to get that you need to have a pretty good amount of troops, or you're going to lose your army and your money. But it pays off when you win a battle. Anyway, so we're gonna hopefully be done with this in a minute. Just gotta get more money, because if you don't have the muns, you can't get the food. If you don't have the food, you can't. Well, your people are just gonna like leave you. Like, this guy won't feed us, just run away. And yeah, you need to pay them too. You know, no one wants to get shot at and not be paid. The reason this is an effective strategy is because the game is so dumb that they're going to continue with me in circles while my crossbows from the militia units just shoot them to death. So yeah, very, very good. It's an effective strategy. Hey, back up. Not fun. So we're just cutting these guys for piss of, hey, stop running. No one run. Yes. Stop. I'm level 4, so I actually might even save leveling up for a tutorial of its own, just to explain like all that stuff, because leveling up, the skills and attributes, they all have explanations of their own. And I only want party management in this video. Party management and buying the food, which is part of party management. Because, like I said, well, I didn't say this, but I have a feeling that you guys aren't going to fully follow the tutorial, and you're probably going to play the game in between episodes. So the very, very basics and essentials until the next tutorial videos. And we didn't lose a single person, so that was awesome. And, this is pretty good, armor. I'm not, like, completely liking it, mainly because I prefer body armor, and even though this gives more leg armor, and I'm on horse a lot, I would prefer for my boots to be that. So let's just get this for any followers, and here's the chance to get more weapons. So, you got this Nordic sword, that's good, I guess. I don't use one. You got your maces. Spears. A spear, I think, would be a valuable thing to have, so I'm going to take my shield off and have that spear instead. This is for my follower. The bow, we have to compare the bow, so damage 18, damage 15, accuracy 99, accuracy 99, speed 97, speed 100. I think I like this one because it does more damage. And, yeah, get this and get some more money, I guess. Collect all this up and sell it at the market. So, yeah, we can upgrade some troops now. We're about to have a decent amount of militia, which are... Militia...
We can do this the easy way.
Ooh! Now, you know you're probably in for an issue when someone outnumbers you by 10. So let's hold this position. Let's get our spear out. The spear is the charging weapon, obviously. The spear is probably best used when charging enemy ranks. Then once you get into like closer combats, like that circle I was just using in the last battle, like how I was circling around, a spear would not be a good weapon for that because it's a little clumsy. Whilst this you have precision and accuracy. Now we're gonna have to rely on our troops in this battle some because there's a difference. Ooh, nice. Because there's a difference between an army equal size to you and an army bigger than yours. And you want to not really mess too much, because if you get if your health goes down too far, you'll be knocked unconscious. And if you're lucky, you might get a chance to fight with your troops again. If you're unlucky, when you're outnumbered and you can't fight with your troops, you're gonna lose the battle. Because the game, like Medieval 2's auto-resolve, is very dumb. And as you can see how I'm just trying to whittle away at the enemy while my troops get some more archer shots. Those javelins are nasty. You do not want to get... Okay, I'm gonna let those guys fight it out. You just gotta try to whittle down your opponents, because when you're outnumbered, it's not good. I mean, at least we're not outnumbered by like 400. Or, yeah. Once I fought a battle where I was outnumbered by like 440 or something. And I still won because I had a good formation. Because formations are very key. You want to make sure that you have good formations. As you can see here, we're pretty much taking them down. Okay. We got our two-handed weapons up pretty high now just from these few battles. I mean, you don't have to use two-handed, but when you're on a horse, it's either a two-handed weapon or a spear, in my opinion. When you're on foot, I say sword or two-handed weapon. I mean, you can use a one-handed weapon on a horse, and it's probably pretty effective. I just prefer two-handed weapons for their reach because I don't really like to get too terribly close to people with swords. And as you can see here, our health. You have health and you have horse health. If your horse gets knocked down, you have a chance of your horse getting crippled, and therefore you won't be able to use your horse again. But that's something for another day. Right now, we should win the battle. But I am nearly dead, so I'm going to pull back, and it is time to help your people and get some counter snipes. And so, hey, headhunter. Okay, so we obviously can't just sit back. You can't just sit back and let your troops take the brunt of it. Hey, Pyrant just got a kill. Ooh, we lost the militia. But since they're bandits, we outclass them. But we can't let our troops die. Troops are too valuable. 1 F1 F3. 1 F1 F3 is the command to get your troops to charge again. We got our footmen up here and Pyrantist. And so we only had 1 militia killed, 5 people wounded. Which is pretty good, and we can't capture this person. Javelins, you can take javelins if you want. Ooh, and now this is a good two-handed weapon. But I don't want it, I'm going to sell it because it's imbalanced. And we got 400 dinars and a decent amount of militia. So we're going to upgrade. Okay, let's get all these guys upgraded. And so we can now spread these guys out evenly. So let's get 2 of these guys. I like to have a bit more footmen, and then we'll get 3 skirmishers. And so now we got 4 footmen, 3 skirmishers, and then 3 units of militia. And I'll show you guys proper skirmisher formations soon. But right now, this little army of 12 is serving very well. We were slightly bigger, and yes, the people we are helping are at war with the Rhodoks, but we're not actually helping them yet. We're just planning to help them in the future, so you don't have to worry about Rhodok troops attacking you. So right now, before I end out this episode, I recommend to the people who will play between episodes, keep building up your army. Remember to keep buying them food. Make sure you keep an eye on your money and an eye on how much food. As you see, we're down to 28 of this dried meat. And keep selling the weapons you get from your enemies. Talk to your companions and make sure you keep your companions up to date with weapons. And let's just check right here real quick. Caravan Guard, Deshavi. I don't really like Deshavi. Merchant. That hardly seems fair. Fair, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Anyway, guys, that's all for this video. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and Mithyc out.